Hey guys, it's Dimitri through Boschka Streetwear. So today I'm going to show you how I package boxes and how I do all that stuff. So the first thing that you're going to need is get a tape gun. If you are finding yourself packaging lots of boxes and your business is growing, make sure you invest in one of these. They're like maybe 10 bucks. I think I got this one and it works fine. And if you aren't packaging a lot of boxes, maybe hold off on that for a while, but definitely get that if your business is ramping up. So here in this box, I got 3 hoodies and a pair of socks and some stickers. So typically what I do is I try to make sure the box is filled in and stuff really isn't rolling around. If there's some gaps in here, I would put in some of the sealed air. I'll show you what that looks like. It's this kind of stuff. And usually for those kinds of orders, I would need that if there was a poster tube in here and a couple t-shirts, because it's not going to be totally full. So make sure stuff isn't rolling around in there as much as possible. And then what I do is, so here is kind of like what is happening. So when you have these flaps down, you have this side that is exposed right here. And I don't know if other people have noticed this, but I've noticed it. So if you've ever been in a supermarket or a grocery store or whatever, you can actually tell which packages were on the top of a pallet or a box where the employee cuts it open, because you can actually see the knife mark on some boxes and products. That's just something I've noticed because I have an eye for that. So I thought in my head that, that might happen to someone in the future. So I'm going to try to package this as best as I can to help them avoid that. Now, if a customer, if they open this with a knife and they cut through it, that's not, I'm not liable for that. But I obviously want to help people avoid that if they're, not as careful with a knife. And obviously it would suck if they cut through clothing. So in order to kind of get rid of that gap, I put the packing slip right there and it covers it up. So that's just something that I do to help with that. And then this particular order is going to get sent internationally. So what I do with international orders is I will tape all of the seams. Excuse me for a moment. So I will tape one seam around the entire box. Just like that. So if this box was just gonna be shipped domestically in the United States, this would be enough tape if you're shipping clothing, because clothing it can get heavy, but not so heavy that the whole box will just explode. And also, when you're packaging boxes, you don't want to get a box that is bulging. So get the box that is most appropriate for the amount of stuff in here. So this is like pretty well sealed. Nothing's rolling around in here, but as you can tell, it's not super it's not bulging out or anything like that. So like I said, this box is gonna be shipped internationally. So what I have to do with this is what I do, is I will tape every additional seam. And this is just like a safety precaution, because I don't know how much this box is gonna get tumbled around. So you just gotta be a little bit thoughtful. All right, so there we go. I got all of the seams taped. I think that if you shipped a box internationally, but it was very light, like most of it was air, you probably don't need to tape all of the seams, but this one is about almost 5 pounds. So it's definitely something that I'm gonna do. But most of all, make sure that the middle seam is like the strongest. So this particular box is gonna be shipped with UPS. So with UPS, they typically require a packing list enclosed. So what that means is that you're going to have your packing lists that you'll print out, and you're going to have a packing list envelope that you put them in. So all you do with this is you take these are already signed and all dated and all that. You put it in here, you peel these off. And you can get these on Amazon. You can get this box on Amazon too. So I typically put it right here. And then you take the shipping label. So this is just a blank label right now because I'm not gonna show customers information on this. But what I do is I like to put these on the corner, close to the seam, but not on the seam, and not on the very corner, and not on the side. So the reason why you do that is this seam right here, even though it's secure, it's gonna go like this when it's traveling. It's gonna bulge, and that will cause your barcode to get distorted. You don't want to put your barcode perpendicular to the seam. You can put this label on top of the seam this way, or parallel to the seam, but make sure your barcode's hanging out right here if you do that. I don't like to do that. I like to put the label on the flattest surface possible, on the biggest surface of the box. So for instance, you wouldn't want to put this label on the bottom either, because the box will get scuffed on the bottom more than it does on the top, and you wouldn't want to put it on the side. You want to put it on the biggest surface of the box. You want to make sure that the barcode is not perpendicular to the seam, like in regards to being on top of it. And you want to make sure that you're using the flat side of it. So this barcode, when it's right here, it's not going to get disturbed. This is just like a precaution that I use, because if anything goes wrong in the shipping process, it will aid in helping the package get through faster. Sometimes if packages get damaged, if barcodes get damaged, it's going to cause delays, and your customer won't get packages in as fast. So those are some tips on how to package boxes, and I hope that helps you guys. I've shipped a lot of them this way. I haven't had any issues, and it's worked for me. This particular method is good for clothing. So this video is about shipping clothing. If you ship other items, the way you package it might vary, so that's something you got to think about. Anyways, I hope you guys like this video, and leave me some comments down below if you got any value out of it, and I'll catch you guys later. Thanks, guys.